When you picture an architect, what do you see? Do you see someone in all black, rolling out blueprints, standing on a construction site, working behind a Revit screen? Maybe someone who's sketching a building at a drafting table. Listen, that image, it's not wrong. It's just incomplete. And that incomplete picture is exactly why so many people either rule out this degree too fast or go in completely blindsided at what the career actually looks like. Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Gabby. I'm a licensed architect and your architect big sis. I spent the last several years making sure that the information I wish I had in school actually gets to the people who need it. So if you're new here, welcome. Today we are going to answer the question that I get in my DMs constantly. Should I study architecture? And if I do, what can I actually do with that degree? So by the end of this video, you are going to have your roadmap for what you want to do next in your career. Let's get into it. First of all, what is architecture? Let's start at the very beginning because I think a lot of people skip this part and it absolutely costs them. Architecture is a licensed profession. So think like medicine and law. There's a legal framework around it, and that framework exists for one reason. It's to protect the health, the safety, and the welfare of the public. Now listen, that phrase, health, safety, welfare, it's not something that you memorize or necessarily learn in school even. It is the entire ethical spine of our profession. Every set of drawings that an architect produces, every material specification, every code review, it traces back to this. Will it keep people safe? And it is one of the first things I tell people when they ask if this career has meaning, because quite literally, yes, people are indoors 90% of their lives. So we want to make sure that there's a space where people can live, work, learn, and heal inside the buildings that we get to design. So now let's talk about the degree itself, because this is where it starts to get nuanced, because not all architecture degrees are equal. We'll start with our accredited degrees. So the Bachelor of Architecture degree is usually 5 years. It puts you on a direct path to licensure. This is the degree that says, I want to become a licensed architect and I want to start that clock now. Then you have the M.Arch degree, the Master of Architecture. It's a graduate level professional degree. It's for people who pursued a different undergrad or are coming into architecture later. Depending on that prior degree, it can go between 2 and 3 years. You then have architectural studies, which is a non-professional degree, maybe environmental design as well. It's more research and theory focused, and it doesn't put you directly on the licensure path, but it does open doors into adjacent fields, urbanism, policy, academia, real estate development that we'll talk about later. And in interior design and interior architecture, they live in the same college as architecture usually, and that skill overlap is very real. The career overlap is real, although we go after different accreditations. Knowing which degree you're pursuing before you commit matters more than most advisors will tell you, so I need you to ask this question early. Okay, so you know what the degree is. Now let's talk about what architects actually do. And I want to go deeper than the fact that we design buildings. At its core, the architect's job is to take a client's vision, a school, hospital, housing development, civic building, and translate that vision into a set of documents that can actually be built. So means design, yes, of course, but there's coordination, there's code compliance, construction administration, client communication, budget awareness, community engagement, the list goes on and on. The job is both technical and relational at the same time. You have to be able to make something beautiful and then defend every decision in a room full of people who are going to push back on it. Career path-wise, the traditional route looks like this. You graduate, you join a firm, you log your experience hours under the supervision of a licensed architect or other licensed professional, and then you take your licensing exams. And there are 6. After that process, you become licensed. Again, this is in the United States. That process will take time. The national average from licensure from high school graduation to actual licensure is about 12.8 years. And I want you to know this going in, not as a discouragement, but more than anything else, so you know what plans you have. The other path, and this one is growing very quickly, is working for clients other than firms. So think owners' representatives, project managers on the client side, independent consultants. And yes, you can get these right outside of school. People who bring their architecture training directly to developers, school districts, healthcare systems, and nonprofits. Both of these paths are absolutely valid, keep you within the architecture space, and they're valuable. And you know what? That's not even the full picture. We're going to get into the 3 buckets. This is a part of the video I want you to screenshot and save and send it to someone, because this is what no one showed me. First answer that pops in your head is probably a firm, maybe a construction company, and that's it. But the real map is going to have 3 buckets that I'm going to break it into today. First one, buildings and construction. This is the one that everyone knows, and it is the most socially acceptable where architects are. And it's a very wide lane. You've got small firms where you often touch every part of a project and you develop your skills very quickly. large firms where you might specialize early on and work on projects at a scale that you can't really address anywhere else. Then you have code officials, people who review permit drawings and ensure everything complies before construction begins. This is a government role with real authority. Then you have, as I mentioned earlier, the owner's project manager. These are architects, architectural designers, people on the path to licensure who move to the client side and manage capital programs, which are capital money, often for school districts, university, or healthcare systems. The salary bump is also something that really should be considered. There's visualizers, the people creating the renders, the imagination behind the animation, immersive experience that sell a project before construction even begins. And that is its own career lane, and this is a very high demand. Let's talk about bucket 2, which is city and advocacy. This one is so close to my heart because it's where design meets public life. A lot of architects go on to nonprofits, organizations that are doing historic preservation, community development, and housing advocacy. It's important to remember that your architecture training makes you formidable in these rooms because people just don't have experience in. And you have facility commissions. Think about managing public buildings, public land, public infrastructure. These are government roles. These are government roles with real scope. And think of your city offices, housing departments, economic development offices, planning departments. Architects who go into planning often become some of the most effective planners in the room because they understand how design decisions can ripple outward into communities. State and federal agencies, the work that shapes the entire region, not just single buildings. If you went to architecture because you care about communities, bucket 2 is where this instinct can absolutely scale. Then you have bucket 3. These are the extras, the ones that surprise people, that take you into the creative route that you have with your architecture degree. It starts to comprise of organizational leadership, roles within AIA, NCARB, NOMA, ACSA, or other national organizations that shape the profession itself. These are, again, very high-level, high-earning jobs with policy influence at a national level. And you have specialists. This is a whole world that the profession, I think, does not talk about enough. You have cold consultants whose only work is on compliance strategy, market specialists who become the go-to expert in things like healthcare design, K-12 education, justice architecture, facade expertise. The more specific your expertise, the more irreplaceable you can become. And then this has been one of my favorites most recently to drop in the conversation, but the entertainment industry. Set designers, production designers, art directors on film sets. A significant number of people have architecture backgrounds because spatial thinking, the ability to compose a room, to control a sight line, understand how light moves through a space, this is something that is very real and taught to you as early as your first year in architecture school. What I want you to remember is that architecture school does not just teach you how to design buildings. It shows you how to see systems move through complexity and to hold the whole and the detail at the same time. And that skill set is a rare gift, and it's going to follow you everywhere you go. So, should you study architecture? If you want to go into a career with range, depth, and real impact, if you're someone who thinks in systems and wants to be trained to do that at a professional level, yes, this degree is for you. But I want you to go into this with your eyes open. Know what the degree is, what the path to licensure looks like, and know deeply just how wide your options are once you actually get here. Because the person who told me the career was just firms and plans and construction, they weren't lying to me, but it was not the full picture of what can happen in your career. If you've already graduated and you're figuring out what comes next, I'll do a whole separate video for that. My link will be in the description. Save this one, share it with a person in your life who's about to pick a major that has no idea architecture could take them this far. If there's one thing in this video that you enjoyed, give it a like. And if there was 2 things, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.